Good morning and happy day after Thanksgiving. I know you guys are probably stuffed and full like I am. Like I could barely be able to fit in my pants by the time I got home yesterday, and I was good with it. Um, so anyhow, good morning. Welcome to Morning Motivation. My name is Alicia Richardson, and I am a brand strategist and business coach. I am and what that means is I take your huge vision and simplify it into uh, everyday actionable steps so that you can get your vision out there to the right people as well as making it look good at the same time. Um, all right, so the reason for morning motivation, I always say, is to get you to want to get out of bed and not feel like you have to get out of bed. It's a different mindset. It's you going after your fulfillment, going after your purpose, instead of just getting up because there's a task to do, right? And so today and all this week, we've been talking about having a debt free mindset. And I think you all have been really waiting for this one. Um, when it comes to the financial part. So, and because yesterday was Thanksgiving, I know I said I was going to come on Thanksgiving, but it just did not happen that way. So, today we're going to be talking about our spiritual deficits and financial deficits, and we're going to talk about those those areas of the debt-free mindset. And so, let's go ahead and hit the spiritual first. And so that spiritual debt-free mindset, and remind you, we're coming from two scriptures, two, which is Proverbs 22:7. The rich rules over the poor, and the borrower, the over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. And oh no man, anything except to love each other, right? And that's Romans 13:8. So um when it comes to the spiritual part of things, how can we say that we can have a deficit in that area? Well, it's easy. If you're not spending a lot of time with God, and I'm not saying like you need to every day be on a schedule to pray. Make sure you have that one prayer that you have, just like we have for grace, right? So, people become very religious and schedule oriented when it comes to their spiritual relationship. And we don't think about the times that we actually just need to sit, meditate, and just hear God's voice and hear his heart for our life and hear the answers to the questions that we've been asking that we feel he hasn't answered. It's not that he hasn't answered them. It's just you haven't really sat long enough or been open enough to hear the answer, right? And so that's how we get into these deficits. We get into these deficits um, because it's like we are trying to solve our own problems. We're trying to make a way out of no way by ourselves, and we're supposed to allow God to make the way, and he's already made the way. So we're on this path when he's telling us to go on this path. And it's not that you're not going to reach where you're trying to go. It's just going to take you a longer time, just like the Israelites, right? It took them 40 years instead of 40 days. All right. So in that perspective of spirituality, and or the spiritual deficit, that's where I'm coming from, right? So again, you want to just take that time to just sit and listen and hear God's voice, right? So then now let's go into the financial piece, um, getting into a debt-free mindset. Now this one is a favorite topic because everybody's always wondering, well, I'm ready to be debt free. Everything, life just happens, and we never can just save our money, and it's like I'm living paycheck to paycheck. It's like if it's gonna rain, it's gonna pour, right? We say that. I'm guilty of saying things like that. However, here's the thing: when it comes to having a debt free mindset, you have to have a different perspective on money. You have to have a different perspective on the things around you. And you have to remember If you sit and watch TV all day, now you're putting in your spirit, oh, I gotta have that, gotta have that. But in all reality, you don't have to have nothing on that TV that comes across that TV. You don't have to have nothing in them stores, because at the end of the day, if it was just you and God, that is all you really need at the end of the day. However, because we want to stay with the Joneses, or because we feel like we need things, because we feel like we want to tell everybody or have everybody speak into our lives, and tell us like what God is saying, or we need someone to come tell us how to do this or that, we go into debt because we're trying to pay our way to success. We're trying to pay our way to our happiness. We're trying to pay our way to getting wherever we're trying to go. And that's not how that happens, period. It's not. Now, I'm not saying that you can't enjoy the things that people invent. I'm not saying that at all, because obviously, right? I pay for things. However, we have to be smart about it. Having a debt-free mindset is um, being able to first of all, manage your money, right? If you're not able to remember to pay your bills, and then go after the secondary things, which are the things that you just want, right? That's the first step. Knowing how to balance what's coming in. Okay. And people are doing that, and that's why they're living paycheck to paycheck. But there's this other part. You're balancing what's coming in, but you're also putting money away. You're storing money, right? So you pay, you store money, and then you invest money. Then you can go out and buy the things that you want to buy, right? I heard on I forget where I heard this. I think it was on like a court show or something. He says, if you can't buy it twice, don't buy it at all, because you can't afford it. And another thing is, people are like, okay, so if you're in debt, you have no money, right? That was my mindset. When we were in debt, we had no money. Even though there was money flowing in, there was still a huge debt that, with the money that was coming in, it could not pay off that debt. So therefore, we had no money because we owed the money, which is why you're always going to be a slave to a lender. I don't care about the credit cards, all of that stuff. Anytime you borrow money, it's not your money. It's really not. So you still owe it, right? So you don't have money. You don't have money if you owe people, and you can't pay it off within that whatever paycheck that is, right? Or whatever. So another thing I want to mention about the debt-free mindset is understanding what money is. Okay. All right. So, okay. Whew. So money is a tool. Money definitely helps the world go around, right? You really cannot do nothing without money, or you can't do much without money. Okay, I get that. All right. However, some people live their life and base their actions and decisions based on whether they're going to get money or not. That is the difference. So some people go to work, majority of the people in life go to work because they want to get money. No, no, that's not kingdom thinking, kingdom people. That's not what we do. We go to make an impact, and in return, yes, we get paid for that service because it's a part of, or we get paid to go in there and do what we're supposed to do. That's a part of it. However, if you have the mindset of not just going in there and getting the money and going in there and making an impact, guess what? That's where the promotion comes. That's where, you know what? If at the end of the day, if the job is not satisfying you, you are strong enough to walk off that job and have the faith enough to go and get the job that you want, or go after the things that you really want to go after. Okay. Or if God just straight up tell you to leave your job, it's like, instead of you being scared to do that, it's easier for you to do when you look at it that way instead of getting money. When you realize that God is your source, money is a resource, you move differently, right? You think differently. Debt is like it'll become a cuss word to you, like, nah, okay? I've been out of, me and my husband are out of debt completely. We've been out of debt before. However, because we didn't have the right mindset when it came to money, we were back in debt. Okay. So, I mean, so that just explaining that are, ways to have a debt-free mindset. One is remember that money is a tool. Two, forgot the first one. Money is a tool. Changing the way you think about money, changing the way you think about money. And then two, having a kingdom mindset over, I have to just go after this money mindset. I need a hustle mindset. Okay. All right. So if you want to dive into that with me a little more, you can. You can book a call with me. Go to my website. I didn't put my little banner up. I always do that. There you go. And then we also talk about the spiritual aspects, which is spending more time with God, doing more listening than talking. No, let me change it. Doing more listening than complaining. Okay, just put it out there. But yep, that's all we have for you today. I want you to have a wonderful and blessed day. My name is Alicia Richardson, and I will see y'all next week with another bomb topic.